Hello everyone and welcome to another pick a card reading. Today's subject is guidance with your soul path slash career. Now for some people their soul path actually coincides with their career, while for other people not so much. So this is where you have to know your own situation. And the reason why I'm choosing this topic, this theme for today's reading is because Pluto is grinding down on the last degrees of Capricorn, and generally speaking, it is Capricorn which governs either soul path or slash career, or in other words, at least manifestation. So I know that many people will not have Capricorn as their 10th house, yet still wherever they do have Capricorn is the area where they can manifest the most, so to speak. So this is where everyone their own unique way is influenced by this Pluto in Capricorn. So this is where we get guidance exactly with that topic, with that theme in our lives. So today we have to choose from three different piles of cards. I kind of selected the more serious tarot versions, tarot decks, to reflect the serious nature of Capricorn. So we also have three charms. So this one is an Egyptian hieroglyph, the first pile. Then we have a mystic palm for the second pile. And then we have a dragon, I think it's a Celtic dragon, for the third pile. So I'm going to leave you a couple of seconds to make your choice, whichever deck or whichever charm your intuitive senses appeal to the most. And then I'm gonna get these two out of the way. And we shall start with the hieroglyph. So this reading is for the first pile, those who have chosen the hieroglyph symbol. So let us quickly shuffle the cards. This will only take a moment. And then to, use a traditional method, let's cut the deck. And this is where you have your first card, which is the Wheel of Fortune. This is quite significant, isn't it? Now let's see what else comes up. So we have the Justice card. We have the Empress. Wow, all of these are major arcana. I intend to use 6 tarot cards and the rest is gonna be clarified by some astro tarot. So basically astrological cards which really depict the energy so well. I love that deck. And an oracle deck. Then we have the Ace of Wands, really big energy here. Then we have the Princess of Cups, but I don't really want to use minor courtship cards. So I just put her back in the deck. Oh. We have another really powerful major arcana, none other than the Temperance. And one more. And the final card is the Two of Coins. Now I really like the fact that for you guys who chosen the first pile, all of these are upright. And I didn't intend it to be upright, so we also have reverse. But for you guys, all of these are upright. Now the Wheel of Fortune with the Justice card and with the Empress does suggest to me that you're already deeply in your career or soul path. And I do think that for you guys, it's actually one and the same. So the soul path coincides with a career, or better said, the soul path is dressed up as a career. But this is where we also have the Justice card. That means that you really, really struggled with this in the past. You really struggled to find this, how should I say, union of what it is that your soul was inspiring you to do. And because we have the Wheel of Fortune, I do believe that for you guys, when I say inspire, it was much more intense than that. There were many phases, cycles of your life, and maybe the most recent one was 12 years ago, when your soul became really, really restless because it really wanted to live this, to experience it, to share, to do something, to start its activity. It wanted for you guys to have a kind of career, or at least, I don't want to say necessarily livelihood, but basically what you do with your time, what you do in the world, what kind of service or what do you offer in a larger sense. So it really, really wanted for you to make your soul path have something to do with your career. So it maybe not a perfect fusion, not a perfect union, but at least they had to have something in common, a correlation between the two. And I do believe that the Justice card also represents your effort, your inner struggle to give it a valid expression. And when I say valid expression, you couldn't just do your own thing. You had to see how and in which way can you actually manifest it, or maybe manifestation is not the best word here. How would your soul path look like in a very 3D, physical, down to earth, even social form? Because that was the problem. The way, your soul kind of was filled with so much intent, so much expression, so much creativity. That was raw, that was like brute. It could have worked in a way, but it would have not supported you, and it would have in a way upset your life, socially speaking, maybe relationship wise, maybe living condition wise. So you had to find a proper mean to make this happen, make your soul path have a lot to do with your career, or better said, to dress it up as a career. So the path was pretty slow, but it really, really had intense moments when you really had to make leap of faith. And this is where it kind of became much more soul path, and the attention was much less on the dress up, on how it looks like in the 3D level. And the Justice card also represents some very, very important decisions and choices. Some of those were legal or at least official, you know, money, livelihood, finances, debt, career, health insurance, all the nitty gritty in life that, kind of has to be taken care of. So very many important decisions and balance and dynamics with that, because there was a point where exactly that was very, very imbalanced and it didn't serve you. So maybe you had to put your soul path on pause and focus more on these 3D elements, on these social security elements, better said. And for other people, this was maybe a relationship that, I'm not saying it didn't serve you or it wasn't a valid part of your life, but what I'm saying is that it kind of got in the way of your soul and your soul's expression. So maybe some people had to separate, maybe some people had to go through a divorce, Some people had to go through a profound transformation of their partnership and relationship. And when I say relationship, maybe it's not like romantic partnership, marriage for everyone. For some people, it's just, the typical soul connections. It can be best friend, brother, sister, family, even community, local community, neighborhood. So there were a lot of changes. And some of those changes with this justice card did feel like sacrifice, because you had to take leap of faith. But ultimately, with this Ace of Wands, we do have this general idea that right now there is some kind of balance in your life. So you do have a balance between your soul path and career, what you're doing, and 3D. The two are somewhat in balance, and this balance works for you. But again, the Ace of Wands on a on a smaller scale. This Ace of Wands represents perhaps the North Node in Aries. So where is this Aries in your personal chart? Because this is empowerment. This is spark of passion. This is where inner will. You just know that your mission is changing. It's getting more in it, or actually it's starting to feel like a mission. It's starting to feel like something very deeply personal where you have to put a lot of willpower into it. You do need a strong breakthrough in your career. Why? Because that Empress. Otherwise, either you feel like it's doing its job, but it's simply not serving you, not serving your physical self, your earthly self, or basically the person who you became, identity and everything. If it's not serving your Venus, so to speak, Empress, and we are all in this present, even though I intended this to be a timeless reading, but right now we are under Venus retrograde, so exactly. How much do you love it? Because you might love it. Love is so different in different ways of expression, isn't it? You might love it on a soul level, you might love it, with your spirit, but if it's just becoming hardship, burden for your earthly self, then that's where the Ace of Wands has to come into play. You need to make it work for all parts of your being, including for that Empress, including for that Venus. You have to feel supported. And this is also where the Temperance comes into play. And in this particular tarot deck, the Temperance is called the art. And the art is, I do believe, it's for a very good reason. Because manifesting something, alchemizing something, putting something into total chaos, like with a invisible ethereal wrecking ball, with the force of your will, destabilizing the system that is working in order to improve it, in order to recreate it, in order for that living chaos, so to speak, to find a new form and shape of expression, to make it the ultimate goal is exact. Even though this is the only minor arcana in your reading, I do believe this is exactly the most important because it means a new type of balance. Look, we have so many cards supporting balance. We have this Wheel of Fortune where it says when the cycle is sticking, when it's divine timing for something, well, it starts flowing, it starts enacting itself. But the Wheel of Fortune mostly is an internal card. Now, this is where we have to take a short detour to explain the Wheel of Fortune card. The Wheel of Fortune can be so very expressive of the three fates. One of the fates measures the thread of fate. The other one imbues it with the specifics. And the other fate has the scissors and it cuts it when time is up. Now, these fates are not really external powers. They're more like internal in the infinite ocean of our unconscious, the realm of Pisces, so to speak. and they are in mythology daughters of Nyx, goddess of the night. A goddess which every other deity, demigod, or whatever we had in mythology either feared or respected. She was never, ever, ever challenged. And the three fates were her daughters that she conceived, herself, with no help, so to speak. But these are internal powers, and that is the wheel of fortune. It is us who are the three fates. But this is the Trinity, where it's not sufficient to be just one of the three fates. We have to embody all three. And that's when I'm not saying that we will have control over anything, but we will feel very aligned with where fate and the course of fate for us personally it's taking us, if you know what I mean. And this is the wheel of fortune, the inner timing. When the clock, the wheel ticks, then it's time for something, and the energy will bottle up inside of you, and then it's really the justice card, your choice what to do with it. You can suppress it, you can negate it, you can laugh at it, so to speak, or you can also obsessively jump into it, like dive into it. Neither one of these actions is actually encouraged, because we do always have to find a middle path, because we might have our fate, but there is the external fate, and the two cannot be enemies. The two cannot be totally dichotomous, because chances are it will be us who will be defeated. So why did I make this, detour in your reading? Because you might have had this lesson in your life very many times come up, that the internal truth, the internal drive, what you sense and know that is your fate, has to also match, especially timing wise, with what external reality permits in the larger sense. Because if it's just something, let's say, local, you can change it by relocating, moving, taking action, etc., etc. But when it's the whole world, then it's a bit more difficult. And I do also sense here that 2020 and the whole COVID situation did a lot of, let's say, good for the soul path of yours. But long story short, this is where the balance that you have in your life right now, I'm not saying it's not working, but you're getting to the knowledge that it's not working for the longer term future. So you do need to take some action. You do need to embody this Ace of Wands and break up the balance that you have right now. And this might be where you have a small fear, because it took you so much effort, patience, diligence, pain, blood, sweat, and tears in order to get where you are now. And you're faced with the fact that you do need to make rearrangements, readjustments again, and it's knocking at your door. But it is your hand who has to also be the wrecking ball. It's your initiative, your call when. And you do need to feel balanced enough. You do need to feel healthy enough. For some people, it's actually your physical health that needs to be tuned up. It needs to be improved. It needs to basically serve you much better. While for other people, money dynamics, income or support, livelihood, exactly. And how does that serve your Venus? Does it make you feel dignified enough? So this is where the art, the temperance card, also represents the realm of Sagittarius, where you do need to dream it up again. Dream up the new balance. Dream up how your soul path, how your work, whatever it is that you're doing, Ace of Wands, is gonna support you. And then make that manifested. Basically, the art is the art of alchemy and manifestation. Make important changes within your feeling, how you feel about it, how you feel about, the self being immersed in that journey of your soul path. How does that, uh, evidence your qualities, your persona, your soul specifics, and ultimately your Venus, your worth, your value. So that is what you need to work on, and chances are it will get there. The two of coins is that new balance, but this is where it's the earthly balance, where whatever it is that you do serves you, it works, it keeps you at least on the floating line, so to speak. But the symbol of the eight, the infinity, and also the Ouroboros is where it's also self-supporting. This new balance is like a cycle. For example, the four seasons, they are in harmony and they are supportive of each other. For some people, this means a source of passive income or some kind of source where the money can flow periodically so you don't have to struggle. Now, let's just choose a couple of astro cards. Exactly. So we have, this is where Venus in Libra, and actually not Venus in Libra, because this card just depicts the rulers of the sign. So we have Libra, Venus, and Pisces, and with Neptune the ruler. So this Libra does represent the new balance, and this Piscean energy, as the image depicts, the dream. The dream has to become real, but it also depicts a bed, which means it has to be comfortable. It has to give you opportunities to just live from within, because that is what you need quite a lot. And maybe that is one of the sources of the imbalance. Your current setup does not permit you to live from within as much as you are comfortable with. Maybe that's the source of passive income, because when you do need to live from within, to give you the chance. And this other card that popped out is also Libra with Venus as the ruler, but Scorpio. A bed is burning. The bed symbol came out twice. And what this means to me is this is the new bed, this is the dream, which isn't there yet because the present one, the old one, is starting to burn, which means you cannot have rest. You know that this Ace of Wands is firing up within you, so you do need to leave your comfort zone or leave your current setup and truly make this dream become real. But Venus is always this. Sorry, Libra is always decisions, choices. And two other cards popped up. This does depict that valid way. So this is Sagittarius and Gemini. They're opposites of each other. A valid way to achieve that is exactly the specifics of Gemini Sagittarius axis. Either, actually not either, this is where you do need to make your ideal, your faith, uh, your higher principle and goal, because you know you've got it. You know you can do much better than presently. Make that support you practically, Gemini, either through communication, maybe sharing your knowledge, doing some teaching work, training work, as in to train other people, to share what you have with other people, your knowledge, your insight, your channeling. And this is again a Libra and Venusian energy, but also with Leo. A partner that will find you. Or this is where the partner can be represented as either a group of people, a business, something that exists out there and has power, that to support you, that to embrace what you're doing. And some oracle cards for the adventure, exactly. You're going on this new adventure, this Ace of Wands, and the upgrade and the reconfiguration of the balance to support you much more. That will feel like a new adventure, especially when what you need or the inner timing is knocking at the door, that this is the time. It's not time yet. Maybe that is why you're experiencing some kind of frustration, some kind of restlessness, because you feel that you need to do all of this, but you also know that life has to meet you halfway, because you know very well that you just cannot rush forward and start something when you know how uncertain, sorry, it can be. You don't want uncertainty because you sacrifice so much to fall into like total chaos. This is more like a bit controlled chaos. It has a safe side. And another, so, but anyway, adventure. The adventure basically will set you free, and it will, your next um, chapter is gonna feel like an adventure. And empowerment, exactly. This is meant to give you the empowerment, you know, the Empress and the Venus that you do so much need. So I do believe that something has to come from external reality. As I said, life meets you there halfway to give you an empowerment. May it be security, some money for the following months, or some investment that you can, you know, invest basically to give you this start of the new adventure. Because if you feel safe, if you feel secure enough, if you know that you can juggle and balance out whatever life throws at you, and this is like a short period, like 2 months or maybe 2 seasons. But anyway, if you know that you'll be fine regardless of what happens, then you're fully in adventure mode. So the next chapter is an adventure which gets you there to reconfigure, find a much, much better balance for your life path slash career. So thank you everyone who has chosen this first pile. I do hope that this reading helped you and served you. If it was helpful, please like and share. It will mean so much for my channel. So thank you everyone, and sending you many blessings. Now let's get back to the second pile. Everyone who has chosen this mystic palm. Oh, like this. So let's get straight into your reading. Let's shuffle. And let us look at the present of your soul path slash career. So I'm going to be choosing, oh sorry, I forgot. I caught the deck for the previous file, so I'm gonna do the same for you. 10 of Wands. So now we can begin. So I'll choose 6 cards, 5 more. The Devil. The Devil is basically in tarot the very symbol of life path, career, manifestation. It is Capricorn and the Capricornian energies. Then we have the Queen of Cups. Another one. So we have the Three of Pentacles, but reversed. And 2 more. Ooh, this is much more than two, but one with. So we have the Seven of Wands also reversed. And I do believe one more. And here we have it. The Two of Pentacles. Now, I must be honest with you guys that this isn't exactly, especially in the present moment, the most harmonious energy, because the Ten of Wands does depict a burden. It does depict that your soul path slash career is not really moving forward, or maybe it's not moving forward as much as you would like, or not moving forward whatsoever, and you might feel a little bit trapped in it. You might feel a little bit like in a quicksand, like in bindweed, basically, where it's like a codependency that you are a person who is very, very soul path oriented, in the sense that maybe to do something in the world, to give something, to have an activity, to involve yourself in the construction of something, and when I say construction, of course, not physically speaking, but rather ideologically in their larger sense, to be part of a movement, to be part of, for example, the spirituality of the times, to be a relevant member. And I do believe that this devil card, a lot of you guys are actually on a spiritual, or at least your soul path has something to do with spirituality. For example, psychology. Now, psychology may be both in the realm of Capricorn, because it's like a proper career and it has study side and in the classic sense, but it's also kind of spiritual because, Carl Jung and every other element in psychology which does have spiritual roots, or at least, if not directly, there's a correlation. But of course, like healer, a holistic approach, there it is. You might have been a nurse and now you want to take a more holistic, another example. But for others still, with this Queen of Cups, it's definitely the realm of arts. May it be music, may it be painting, may it be any kind of handiwork creation. And I do believe that there is also a physical element to it. For example, like a painter, the physical element is the paint and the canvas and the movement, physical movement of the hands. For the singer, it is the instrument and, actually the sound waves and the technology to record it. So there is a physical element there. So that means it's not all that easy, because when there is physicality there, it means investment. It means that you need to consume resources, and at the same time, you need to, have resources to build with it. But long story short, this Ten of Wands, you're stuck, you're trapped, it's not moving forward. It does feel like a codependency, especially from the material side. For example, maybe you cannot have a holiday, you cannot have a break, you cannot take it easy, you cannot be like other people, basically. For you, it's always the setting is hard or extra hard. You might be loving what you're doing, but the sacrifice is. There was a time when it didn't feel too heavy, when you were full of that initiatory spirit. The Queen of Cups, when your soul was overflowing with love, with creativity, you really wanted to share, and you felt deeply, deeply immersed in the purpose. You know what I mean? Maybe for some of you guys, your soul path really, really sparked up in 2020 when we had lockdowns. The devil can represent exactly when authorities locked us down, the time frame when you felt most immersed into the purpose of it. You truly saw yourself being part of it, and whatever it is that you have done really felt important at that time. But since then, as I said, maybe in the present moment it's more like the Ten of Wands. that, well, you cannot stop, you cannot have a break because it won't support you, materially speaking. Or there is something with your career or life path which kind of takes away this freedom to have a break or stop or to take it easy. So the feeling is becoming heavier and heavier and heavier, and this devil makes you feel, Pluto in Capricorn, that it has quite a strong power over you. This is where you're starting to feel that you're not very free, you know. And for example, if you provide a service, your clients or the recipients, the people, whoever is beneficiary of your service, their needs might make you feel that way. That, well, if I stop, if I have a break, well, then this person, that person, or collectively the people are gonna not do all that well, or they need me. But this is where, like, it's turning into the need to be needed, like, where it's no longer a bit healthy. So this Three of Pentacles also represents where the works for the future, the building work, because no career, no life path, soul path is static. It needs to evolve, it needs to grow. That also implies shedding certain things off and imbuing new elements. But that part, the work part, is not really there, the growing part. Maybe you don't have collaborations, you don't have support, you don't have, where you work together with other people or a group or a collective. You might be feeling very, very solo. You might be feeling where the works of it are feeling like a lot of sacrifice, a lot of burden, that you don't have the strength anymore. And the Seven of Wands reversed. Upright, it even says valor. And valor is definitely a key word with the Seven of Wands, because it represents that there are challenges, there are, for example, fights. And when I say fight, symbolically, of course, fight is where you go and embrace whatever life and fate has to throw at you, the difficulties, the challenges, the works of it. For example, some challenges, some fight is just a very, very tough work, a very tough case. But this is where it's already on autopilot. You're used to doing it. You're used to operating from that position. So the valor part is missing. You might be doing it, you might be investing your strength, but it no longer makes you feel exactly the valor, valuable. For example, the Seven of Wands is like Hercules completing its challenges, his tasks. You don't feel that anymore. You just feel very, very stuck. And we have this Two of Pentacles. Now, we have both the Three of Pentacles and the Two of Pentacles. And this immediately says that the way this Three of Pentacles is gonna feel upright, like it's in progress, it is working, either if you attract or somehow have a collaborator, an associate, a partner, someone to work together with. And that might not be just one solo person, that might be a group or a community even, where they have the same goals as you do, or they have the need that you can provide them with. But that is where it's the balance that different. The balance is where it will support you handsomely. It will keep you, on the floating line always. And again, we had this Two of Pentacles for the previous pile as well. The symbol of the Ouroboros, the symbol of the eight, the infinity of it, the cycle, where it supports itself. That is the kind of balance that you need. But this is where the whatever you have to provide, whatever it is that you have to offer, is what someone or something or a group, even the energy of a group needs. So this is like a quantum um, entanglement. What you need also needs you, or what something someone needs is exactly what you are willing to offer. So this has to come together. That's how things change. And you know, this Queen of Cups is upright. So the love, the well of your soul, you know, the well of your spirit, of the creativity, the unconditional energy that you have, maybe the Christ consciousness is still within you. That has not changed. You just cannot feel it. You cannot be it as much, exactly because of this Ten of Wands and the Devil. And because they're upright, well, they do actually serve you right now. They're heavy energy, like, don't get me wrong. The Devil, you'd have no power over you. Where is your power? Where is your choice? Where is your sovereignty? Not really there right now. But this state, this feeling does serve a great purpose to break you free from this, to make you understand that you do need to go forward. You need to advance. You do need to keep on building. You cannot stop your journey. And this is where you do need to make the compromise. Maybe the reason why you're so stuck is because no partnership, no collaboration, nothing that was until now available out there met your, you know, Queen of Cups, your standards of purity, of whatever, you know. For example, strong social media influence might be opposed by you on a soul level. Why? Because it's deceptive. Because it's smoke and mirrors. Because you might see it as the enemy of your work. But at the end of the day, you have to change your perspective. You have to see it as a tool which you can use anyway. And you know, spirit, healing, everything in life is basically an illusion. Nothing is pure, authentic, and that's everything that comes from the brain, the heart, the soul, the mouth, for example, of a human being is illusion. It is not authentically real, grounded in earth. You know what I mean? But it is supposed to be like that. If something is heavily grounded in physical reality, that is meaningless. That is even outside our existence until we give it a meaning. Like, let me give you an example. The most powerful healing herb, healing plant, ginkgo or whatever, I just gave a random example. That's blessed. Like, that's miraculous. But it's meaningless, it's nothing for us as humankind until we give it the meaning, until we give it the power, until the light of our minds sees it as such, if you know what I mean. A piece of diamond on the ground is just a rock until we can give it the meaning. So this is exactly what you do need to accomplish, this inner balance where you can accept compromises in your life. You can accept something that you opposed, you saw as the devil, you saw as manipulation, you saw as something ultimately negative. And I'm not saying that you are wrong, absolutely not. But there is another side of it. And as I said, it doesn't matter how we feel about our soul path. Visit outer reality, the collective, also needs to be supportive of us, if you know what I mean. And it is exactly that support that you have to make it happen by shifting your perception. Not seeing something as the devil or illusionary or evil or a bit of conspiracy attached to it, that it is the tool of, I don't know, the Illuminati or whatever. You do need to open yourself to something that you strongly opposed before. But not in a stupid, foolish way to force yourself, but to see the other side of that. And I do believe that that's how connection, partnership, or whatever it is can enter your life. So we do have some Astro Tarot cards here to depict the energy. And we have the energy of Virgo and Capricorn, or Saturn and Mercury. And look at the image. So this is the hardship, and Capricorn is all about career, with Saturn especially. And Saturn was in Capricorn in 2020. That even before, but that was a really important period. So maybe this depicts your journey in 2020, how much effort, sacrifice, hard work you've invested in your soul path / career, and now with that death, you might need to leave it behind. You might need to go forward, move forward, even if the moving is hard, because you see it's winter time. And it's a woman with all her belongings having to pull it herself. But she's leaving behind the scarcity. She's leaving behind that death, who is ultimately dancing, who is ultimately celebrating it. So even this death symbol, the skeletal figure, is actually encouraging her to leave it behind. So to move forward. This to me, especially with Virgo. Virgo is the sign of discrimination, but this can, of course, have negative expression, and we all know what the negative expression is: skin color, etc., etc. But the positive expression is your discernment. When you judge something as such at a certain time, when it had a reason, but now you have to judge it in a different way because things changed. So don't discriminate that which can serve you now. And the other card is also very Capricornian. Capricorn and Pisces, so Saturn and Neptune. Right now, both Saturn and Neptune are in Pisces. And this is the card rebirth, which symbolizes rebirth. So you see the fish, the life cycle of the salmon. They travel back into the ocean, into the sea, to lay eggs and reproduce, but that also causes their death. This is nature's cycle. That which is outdated has to be allowed to transform so that you can embrace something new. And let us choose oracle cards for the guidance. So we have higher ground. Exactly. You do need that higher ground, and you cannot provide it for yourself right now because the energy and the setup is stuck with this codependency. And higher and be in service. How beautiful. How these two oracle cards mirror the main message. Be in service, absolutely, but on higher ground, in a different way, in an elevated way. So open yourself up to some principles, some ideas, some methodologies, or some means that until now you kind of went against. And you were justified, but things change, times change, energies change. You know what I mean? So embrace the change from within, especially in your faith. So thank you everyone who has chosen this second pile, the Mystic Palm. I do hope that this reading was helpful and useful to you. And if you enjoyed it, please like and share because it will mean so much for my channel. So thank you everyone and sending you blessings. Now, hello everyone who has chosen the last and final pile, the dragon. The dragon symbol. So I'm gonna be choosing 6 tarot cards But first I have to shuffle. And I also have to say this to myself so I don't forget. For the previous piles, I cut the deck because it is like a traditional move in tarot, and I will do the same for you guys. So let us cut the deck. Wow, the Ace of Cups is the first card. That's quite a beautiful card. So these popped out. We have the Eight of Wands. We have the Three of Cups reversed. And we have the Tower. Oh. So two more. The Ace of Swords. Wow. The Ace of Swords and the Tower is pretty big. Oh, sorry. This was, or this is reversed. So that's what I needed to change. And one more. The Three of Wands reversed. Now, to me, this says the Ace of Cups and the Seven of Wands. Now, either you guys who have chosen this third pile again, the Dragon. Now, it's either the case that your career is stuck, totally stuck, as in things are not really happening there. Maybe your income, your livelihood has absolutely nothing to do with your career, with your soul path. Or it can be the case for any reason you had to take a break or stop, or but the stopping part is just, I do believe, physically. Because in the background, the Ace of Cups, the well of your soul, your creative center was on overtime. But this is where you had to dream it. You had to channel it down. Maybe some of you guys are artists, so you had a lot of writing. Writing down your inspiration, your whatever it is that you were inspired with. But for some of you guys, I do sense a lot of dream energy, if you know what I mean. So for others, it was like writing work, where you've done a lot of creating writing, or maybe you channeled some information or guidance or art through, the means of writing. For others, it was a study period, where, okay, the career had to be put on hold because you had some very, very important uh, moments or milestones in your studies, like exam, or you had to choose your studies further or career further. For others, this was where you kind of were in preparation to make a big move in your career, to launch something. Maybe for some of you guys, it is where you have some kind of work which provides the basic income, but in the meantime, you were preparing your move, your launch, a big step, and no, this is where the Eight of Wands comes into play, because you kind of feel that moment, because the Eight of Wands is very quick movement. It's instant, is approaching. You do feel it, and you're guided by inner forces that very soon it's time. But the thing is, this Three of Cups is reversed, which means that the source of inspiration, or this activity that you have done in the recent past, the channeling, the preparation, has stopped. And this is like inner forces stopped it. Now, for others still, this Three of Cups reverse does represent that something in your life has changed. So either certain people who supported you got disconnected, or the support is over. A friendship, I don't want to say it's over, but it's distant. No, you kind of lost support, you lost collaboration, you lost people. And not necessarily in a negative way, like a fight, or this is where you're just distanced. And the tower with the ace of swords. Now, oh, this is reverse, sorry. This is also reversed. So the tower with the ace of swords, a big, big decision, a big move. This is where it's not just you, fate meets you. Because this can be an invitation to go abroad, an invitation to join something, an invitation to join a certain career path, which is already built externally. You know, for example, a company, a professional, someone who is doing a work already and they're, really, really comfortable on their career. They just launch an invitation, come and join me. Come be part of this. And this is the Ace of Swords, a moment which is going to catch you by total surprise. You're not really expecting this. But for other people, this tower can represent that your current living situation, maybe a relationship, maybe whatever bought you time to just channel your true energies, the dream, the manifestation, whatever this Ace of Cups represents, that inner work that you have done, whatever gave you the means to do that comfortably is now coming to an end. Suddenly, abruptly, like a tower moment, like a flash, a lightning moment, and it's there. But that is what opens the path for you. That is what opens the way for you. And you do not see it coming because the Three of Wands is reversed. You don't see how it's gonna play out. You don't see how it's gonna enact. And both of these threes are reversed. So that means there might be a small fear within you that what if you cannot manage, what if it's too big of a risk, because it will destabilize your current income. Whatever it is that it's providing for you in your life right now, it's gonna stop. It's gonna, the tower moment, you're gonna be disconnected from it. And your path forward, the Ace of Swords and the Tower, is in a way a blind leap of faith. It's necessary because, as I said, it's not just you rushing forward blindly, but it's either an invitation or, for example, if you're a student, an exam. An exam isn't just successful, but it gets you somewhere. You do something there, or something happens there which opens a path forward. For others, still, the exam is, I don't want to say it's failed, but it's, the success isn't what you think it is. It gets you somewhere else. And as I said, this can be surprise, surprise, and you do not see it coming. Or maybe you think that the path is gonna lead in a certain way, but especially with the eight of wands, sorry, and it's gonna lead you somewhere totally different. Of course, much better. I'm so guided to clarify further for this group. Five of Cups. So there's also a lot of disappointment here. This is where I do believe the tower moment is necessary because you feel stale. You feel stuck and stale. Not much is happening. You don't feel anything physical, concrete. So your soul path is not supporting you. So you might be feeling the energy of disappointment. So in this context, the Eight of Wands does represent your urge, your immediate desire and need to move fast forward. So I do believe this need to go fast forward is what's going to ultimately manifest this tower with the Ace of Swords. A sudden, unexpected something, offer or opportunity, or your own connection, a new connection, or your own initiative that gets you way, how should I say, it gets you way more ahead, or way more resources, or way more appreciation that you actually expected. It gets you out from the disappointment. And the Three of Wands is very important reverse because you don't see it coming. Mentally, you can you just cannot tap into the future. You do not see the future. You know that it's a must, but you don't know how. And the Eight of Pentacles, work in progress, and the Death, a powerful transformation, a powerful change that's gonna reconfigure your life. But as I said, that opportunity is a total surprise. Either it's built on something that it's providing a small scale stability for you right now, but right now it is exactly that stability which is your enemy. Because as long as you're comfortable minimalistically, you can wait and wait some more, but right now you're so very disappointed with the waiting, and the energies are being just a dream, just spirit, nothing real, that's how you get out of this. And the Death card, the change is coming, a proper career change, or proper career enactment, where it gets something real, something that you need, something to. And the Prince of Pentacles, I'm going to keep it because look, the Chariot, you going forward, you finally embarking on this Eight of Pentacles, building something. But again, it comes as a surprise. For some people, it's exactly a surprise offer, a surprise communication, a surprise chance, a surprise opening, why not? While for others, this is where your present stability is demolished and you will have no choice but to take the leap of faith that will bring you closer to what you need to do, what you need to achieve. While for others still, especially if you're a student, whatever happens at the exams may be what you desire or the opposite of what you desire. That is the key. It doesn't matter how it plays out, because that's the key forward. Now let's just get some Astro Tarot to see the specifics of the energies. Again, we have Cancer and Pisces energy. So this is the disappointment. If you look at the picture, the mermaid is washed ashore, where she is ultimately dying. But this depicts that stale comfort, where things are just a dream that has to die. You have to get out of there. The illusion, the dream, just the promise of things has to end, has to stop. And also the comfort. This, she is covered. She is like sleeping. But the comfort is where it's no longer serving you. You need to get out of that comfort. The stability is stale. And look at this, Sagittarian and Gemini energy. This is, I do sense, for students. If you're a student, this is where you're getting forward, you're stepping up. You're no longer someone who's studying, you're like a professional who has a lot to share. So you are already in your power. That's why things need to change. And finally, we have the energy of Leo and Capricorn. You are the king of your own castle. And right now you need, and as in not right now, whenever this tower moment with the Ace of Swords comes, then you will need to be a diligent and, really, really wise ruler of your own being. Because chances are you will need to make choices that support you the long term and which are the safest that you can possibly choose, but where safety must not mean just the basically minimal, the servitude, because that's why it's Leo. It needs to know its true worth. And sometimes, in order to get your true worth, you do need to endure certain hardships, regardless of how those play out. And finally, let's get some oracle cards for guidance. We have potential gateway. Again, how very, very supportive of the message so far. Because when the tower moment hits, when whatever does represent your present comfort, stability, comes crashing down in a moment, that's not doom and gloom, that is not bad. You should not see it as bad, you should see it as the potential gateway, potential opportunity. In a way it's blind, the Three of Wands reversed. You can't even anticipate how that is gonna work for you, but it is. Embrace the journey, embrace the adventure, because it will get you somewhere, and somewhere new, somewhere with which you can make work. And you see this heart, it will delight your heart, because that's the Ace of Cups as well. A lot of heart energy, a lot of love, a lot of you love what you dreamt up, you really dreamed up your future, but you need to get there. And renewal of peace once you're there, once you're getting towards your destination, even though right now it's blind, that will give you the peace that you need. That will get you out of the stale disappointment energy. This will, and also this Eight of Wands, the anxious energy, that why hasn't anything happened yet? I don't have that unlimited time. How much should I just dream? And this is where it's getting you there. It really, really is. And the tower moment will mark the beginning and the end as well, in that sense. So thank you everyone who has chosen the third pile. I do hope that this was useful and helpful for you guys. If you enjoyed it, please like and share and subscribe, because it means so much for my channel. And finally, thank you everyone who has listened to this pick a card reading. I'm wishing you guys blessings, and may you use these astrological energies, especially Pluto in Capricorn, in the best way possible, because of course it means deconstruction and demolishing, but it equally means building anew. If you'd like this, please like and share and subscribe. And also, if you want to support me and my channel, you can donate in the PayPal link in the description below. With this being said, thank you everyone. Wishing you a really, really blessed and wonderful period.